Caribou are often known as the ghosts of the tundra, earning this reputation with their ability to blend in with their environment while traveling swiftly across the barren ground on their annual migration. Their journey will take them hundreds of miles from their summering grounds to the remote reaches of the Alaska outback. There are no other big game species in the world that will travel as far each year as the caribou. So join me, host Al Noraker, as we go deep into the Tikchick State Park as we hunt one of Alaska's greatest big game treasures on this week's edition of America's Outdoor Journal. America's Outdoor Journal, brought to you by Gart Sports, Oshman's, and Sport Mart, where your next outdoor adventure begins. Our journey took us through Anchorage as we traveled to Dillingham, which is about 350 air miles southwest. We were greeted there by my friend Ty Johnson, co-owner of Bay Lodge, which is situated on the western shore of Lake Allegnaget. Bay Lodge is known for some of Alaska's best fishing, including 4 species of salmon, plus world-class trout fishing in the rivers surrounding the lodge. But this week we left our rods behind so that Ty, myself, and my guest Dave Crawford could go caribou hunting. Our float plane took us about 100 miles north of the lodge to a remote fly-in camp in the Tikchick State Park. We landed in a cold Alaska wind on Nishlik Lake and were soon setting up camp. Hunting regulations in Alaska say that you cannot hunt the same day that you fly. So our first afternoon was spent setting up camp, doing a little bit of scouting, and making sure that our rifles were still dead on. After having traveled over 1,000 miles to get to this location, it's very possible that a rifle scope can get bumped as it's being moved in and out of airplanes so that you're not shooting dead on. We took this opportunity this afternoon and set up a target close to camp, made sure we had a good backdrop, and then we checked each of the rifles to make sure they were still shooting as accurately now as they were at the range. We were early in the migration, but it did not take long before we spotted a small herd of caribou coming down the valley. Over the next few hours, we saw several more good herds and began to lay plans for our hunt in the morning based on the route that they seemed to be using.
Look at that dude standing in the back.
Yeah.
He's not bad. He's got, look at his rack.
We're in the Tikchick State Park up here in Alaska hunting caribou. What a beautiful place. And you know, there's some things that are really important for all hunters to think about when they get ready for a hunt like this. And the first is the selection of your firearm. I know a lot of people like to find the biggest caliber that they can possibly get and figure that's going to be the best. And what I'd like to suggest to you is that it's more important that you're able to place your shot exactly where you want it to be, and that doesn't always mean it's the biggest gun. This week we're shooting a Sako stainless steel synthetic model, chambered in 7 Ultra Mag, which might be a little powerful for caribou, but it's a very flat shooting gun, so we're very comfortable with that. I really like the fact that it has a full stainless steel barrel and receiver, and of course a synthetic stock. In these kind of environments up here, we can get rain at just about any time, and it really fits well for that kind of an area. Something else that I always make sure that I do when I go out to the field, I'm going to make sure that my scope is protected. And especially up here, we can get rain or snow or just about anything, and you don't want to miss a chance at that big bull of a lifetime because you can't see through your scope. So I always outfit my scopes with these little scope covers. They're made by Butler Creek. They're very easy to attach, and they open up very easily. Just a quick push back here and another little flip up there, and it's open. They're quiet, and when you open that up, you've got a nice clean view through your scope. Something else that I always do is that when you're hiking around, it's pretty easy to fall down or maybe something get in your barrel somehow. So what I'll do is I'll put a little piece of tape in this case duct tape, over the barrel of my gun just to protect it. It doesn't have any effect at all on where the gun shoots or the performance of the firearm, but it certainly keeps a lot of things out of the barrel. Now, if you should happen to get something in the barrel when you're out hunting, you've got to have the ability to clean your firearm in the field. And what I like to do is carry a very simple little item. It's one of my favorites. It's called a bore snake made by Hoppies, and it's very simple to use. You just run it through the receiver end of the gun. When this black part comes out the barrel, pull it on through, stand on the bottom of it, and finish pulling it all the way through the gun. It's made of nice soft cloth, and it has a brush built right into it here, so you have a safe and well-performing firearm. So think about the next time you're ready to go on a hunt, especially in an area like this. Make sure you have a quality firearm that you're very comfortable with. You've done a lot of practicing in the field. It's well equipped for the environment that you're going to be in. Keep that scope clean. Keep any objects out of the barrel by making sure you have that little piece of tape across the front. And I hope you enjoy your next hunt as much as I'm going to enjoy this one.
Remember, products we use in the show are available at Guard Sports, Oshman's, and Sportmart. The morning broke clear and cold with a strong wind blowing from the north, across the lake, and into our camp. I had slept very well thanks to our Coleman Exponent bags and tents, making it difficult to leave the warmth that they provide. But the excitement of the hunt and the smell of the hot breakfast that Ty was making got me up in a hurry. We packed for a full day because there would be a very good chance that our hunt would take us miles from camp.
All right, Dave. Here's where it starts.
This is it.
What a perfect morning, huh?
Sunshine weather in Alaska, that's unheard of.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky, didn't we? We saw a big group last night. I hope we still find those.
Saw a couple hundred yesterday. Hope we can at least see that today.
Yeah, it looked like there were some nice bulls at the back of that big herd.
Real white manes. That really points out that you're looking at it.
Despite the rugged tundra and their very large size, caribou move extremely fast. Their broad hoofs are perfectly suited for the soft tundra, and their long legs can easily maneuver through the ground heaves that make hiking the tundra so difficult. Unless spooked, they really don't run, they just keep a steady pace as they move. We split the width of the valley, bordered on one side by Nishlik Lake, and the mountains on the other. The total width was about 3 miles.
We'll set up over here on this ridge.
Yeah.
So we know they cross here, and we know they cross on the other side of that ridge.
There we found a good vantage point where we could watch for caribou on the move. In this environment, caribou hunting is similar to antelope hunting in the plains of Montana or Wyoming. A good pair of binoculars or a spotting scope is mandatory. Not only do they help you spot caribou so that you can intercept them on their route, but they allow you to judge the bulls in the group and make a decision as to whether you should make a stalk on the animals or if you should pass and wait for a better bull. We could see caribou moving down the valley towards us, but they were still miles away, too far to know if there was a good bull in the group. Living up to their ghostly reputation, the longer you would glass the valley, caribou would appear and just as quickly disappear in the small valleys and dips that dotted the expanse in front of us. Now, Dave is an experienced hunter and has taken a number of quality caribou in the past. So on this trip, he was looking for a very special bull, one that would prove very hard to find. We had only covered about a mile of tundra before we caught movement on a hillside, maybe a mile away. Through the spotting scope, we could see about 30 caribou feeding and moving slowly from our left to our right. Now, we have seen hundreds of caribou since our arrival, so we were getting pretty good at determining the size of a bull, even at very long distances. This group was pretty typical of what we had been seeing, but all of a sudden, another animal appeared from behind a small hill. The bad news was that they were a long way away. The wind was not in our favor, and there was very little cover to conceal our advancement. As we kept a close eye on the group, trying to find a good way to cut the distance, they moved over the top of a small hill.
I think I'll take that one in the back.
This gave us an opportunity to get closer if we moved quickly. It wasn't long before we were on the back side of the hill. If we had judged everything correctly, the caribou would be just over the knob. The next few hundred yards were covered on our hands and knees, in order not to be seen. Ty led the way, and I could see him raise up every now and then in an attempt to see the caribou. Sure enough, there they were, only 50 yards from us now, and they had no idea we were there. Ty motioned to Dave to move up next to him for the shot. I wasn't sure if they had spooked or what had happened, so I had to get closer. Now I could see the bull, a fine animal with tall beams, a double shovel, and lots of points. For most people, this would have been the perfect bull, but for Dave, it was not the animal he was looking for. Now, I have often talked with my two sons about the true joy of hunting, and that it's not just about taking game, but the joy of the hunt itself, the beauty of what God has given us, and in sharing it all with hunting companions. Those words had never been more true than at this exact moment.
Remember, products we use in the show are available at Gart Sports, Oshman's, and Sportmart. Well, we have found a really cool new item here at the SHOT Show this year. It's called the Hawkeye Precision Bore Scope, made by the Gradient Lens Corporation. And with me here today is Ken Harrington, the Director of Marketing for Gradient Lens. Ken, why don't you show me a little bit more about this and what it can do for the shooter?
Well, Al, for years, gunsmiths, hunters, and shooting enthusiasts have inspected their firearms by looking down the bore.
Right.
Folklore has it that a shiny bore means an accurate firearm. So let's take a look at the barrel of this AR-15 rifle and see what this looks like with the old conventional look down the bore trick. Well, as we can see, it has a nice shiny bore. Looks good.
When we use this tool and take another look at that barrel from inside, looking sideways at the lands and grooves, right, it's a very different story.
The Hawkeye bore scope actually rotates 360 degrees inside the barrel, so you can see the lands and grooves from a millimeter or two away. And this one has copper, pitting, erosion, some severe fouling in there. This barrel's in bad shape.
There's been a lot of rounds shot through that barrel, hasn't there? That's a very different story. And you never would have seen that. You know, if you just look down that barrel, it looks fine.
That's right.
And of course, that's what we all used to do. You also brought along with you a brand new, beautiful Weatherby Mark V.
Weatherby, like many firearms manufacturers, now use Hawkeyes in their quality control areas, and now that's a fine looking bore.
Absolutely. Look at that. What a difference. All the lands and grooves are crisp and sharp. Yep. Obviously clean. It's a brand new firearm, but what a difference. What's interesting to me is that when you held these two guns up, as we started looking at these and you look down the bore of this AR-15 barrel and this one, you can't tell the difference. I sure appreciate you coming. It was great meeting you, and I'm sure our viewers will really enjoy this.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you.
It was really an incredible sight. The valley was the color of a beautifully decorated Thanksgiving table. The mountains rose quickly from the valley and reached into the clouds that were threatening snow. But these weren't just mountains. These were once active volcanoes with their mouths wide open. This is a special place that few get to see, and I was going to enjoy my time just being here as I waited for that perfect bull. My trance was broken with the soft words from Ty. Good bull, coming right at us. We had been watching a large herd in the distance when out of nowhere, a small group of about 20 appeared. They had not seen us yet, and the wind was in our favor. From a quick look through my binoculars, I could see 2 or 3 bulls, one clearly better than the others. They were moving our direction, but quartering slightly to our left. As usual, they weren't wasting any time, and if we were going to get a shot, we had to move about 200 yards without being seen.
Yeah, right up there, right up there.
We made it to a good vantage point, but we were skylined to the caribou and were spotted instantly. Ty checked the range and quickly stated, 249 yards, slightly downhill. I had no time to wait. We had been seen, and they had made a quick move to our right, which gave me a perfect broadside shot. The crosshair settled on his shoulders and I squeezed the trigger.
Good shot, Al.
He's down.
Yeah, he's down.
Excellent. All right.
Good one.
Let's go down there.
Good job. Now the work begins.
All right. Get down there. Hey, thanks a lot.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head back and get the meat packs, and I'll meet you at the animal.
Okay.
Okay. We'll start working on them. We'll be ready when you get back.
Okay.
All right.
See you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
This tundra is a lot of fun to walk on, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't be walking on this with a sprained ankle.
No. Dave, he's got to be up here someplace.
He's close in here.
Yeah.
Get ready.
There he is, Dave.
There he is. Good job, Al.
Looks like he's down hard, huh?
Oh, we got him.
That is a nice looking bull, my friend.
Good job, Al.
All right, let's just make sure.
Now. Make sure we double check it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's down
dead.
hard.
Oh yeah, look at that.
15 minutes, absolutely.
Got you down there. You got in position. Made about a 249-yard shot.
Yeah.
That Socko rifle put him down to one shot.
Yeah,
Heck of a deal.
that 7 Ultra Mag is a very flat shooting round.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, you shot it well. Good job.
Well, I appreciate that. This was a lot of fun. Look at this, the way these shovels are crossed.
Look at that, Al. Got double shovels
Yeah.
crisscrossing in the front.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Normally they're out like this, and now they've actually crossed right over. They're actually touching right where they cross.
You know, a lot of people look for double shovels, and you've got one that's crisscrossed. Never seen. First day of the hunt, and you're already done. What are you going to do now?
Help you.
There you go.
All right, well, let's get this work done because we got to get you out there and get yours now.
We got about a half mile to camp, and we'll get this baby hiked out of here, and we'll start another one.
All right.
Super.
Couldn't get any better.
Nope.
Thanks again.
Our first day had been very successful already, a perfect start for an incredible trip. Dave never did take a caribou on this trip, but he will tell you that he left a successful hunter.
Hey, I've got a great item here for any hunter or fisherman that's out in the wide open spaces like we are here today. We're out in the Tikchick State Park up in Alaska, about 100 miles north of Dillingham. There's nothing around here, as you can see. And if we should happen to have an emergency, it's pretty handy to have a telephone along. Well, normal cell service is non-existent up here, but what we do have along with us today is a Global Star satellite telephone. Works just like a cell phone. As a matter of fact, it can be used as a cell phone as well with a regular antenna if you have cell service in those areas. But in an environment like this where there is no cell service, we just simply lift up our satellite antenna like this and power it up. And in just a few seconds, it'll connect with satellites that are around the area here, and we can call out an emergency situation just like we would with a normal telephone. In this case, just one and the area code and the number, and we're making the call. It's a great safety device. If you're out of touch, if somebody should happen to get hurt or in an emergency situation, or even like today, we finished our hunt a little bit early, so we were able to call the float plane service, and they're on their way to get us right now so we can get out of here a day or two early. You might check it out. It's by Global Star, a satellite telephone, a great tool to have in the field.
We experienced some of the most beautiful landscape and animals that Alaska has to offer. Great conversation around the camp, and an exciting hunt that we will talk about each time our paths cross. I hope that you join us again next week on America's Outdoor Journal as we continue to search for the next great outdoor adventure.